Good morning. My name is Heather and I have the Mock-Up Marketplace on Etsy, and I'm going to show you this morning how to add design colors that are a little more accurate than what is actually available in Silhouette Studio. Silhouette Studio has this great little panel of colors over here, but they don't correspond to vinyl colors that we as small shop owners have access to. So I'm going to show you today how to make that work for you. First thing we're going to do is we're going to open up a design. I have this cute little one right here. I'm going to caution you against using this design for anything in the world. It's trademarked, so you wouldn't want Young, Wild, and 3 in your Etsy shop. But it's a good example, so we're going to use it. So I have this fun little design. It's all in black. But if I were to want to change some of the color elements, I would possibly ungroup the entire thing. And see, now we have Young, Wild, and 3 is free of the arrows. So we're going to ungroup that a little bit further, and then we'll probably have to regroup some things here. We're going to regroup Young, we're going to regroup Wild, we're going to regroup 3, and we are going to leave the ampersand by itself, and I'm going to leave the arrows all hooked together. So the easiest way to do this, if you have a color chart that you're working with in your shop, which I would recommend if you have color options in your shop, that having a branded color chart is really handy. You go up here to File, and then you're going to go to Merge. That actually puts the color chart you want to use on that page that you're currently working on, which is handy. And you can size it down to something that's easier to get to when you open your panel. So we're going to go back over here to bring up our little color panel, and I'm going to make the arrows their own color. So I've highlighted the arrows by putting the bounding box around them. I'm going to grab the little eyedropper tool, and I'm going to tell it that I would like those arrows to be red. So now I have red arrows, and I grabbed the red off of this color chart. You know, I use a different color chart in my own shop, but this one was quick and easy, a little bit smaller. So we're going to make the ampersand. Let's also make that red. So the last color you used is going to always be still in this little box here, and you can change it to that pretty quickly. Now I think I'd like Young to be blue. So I'm going to go over here, grab my eyedropper tool again. I'm going to change that color to sky blue. And then I'm going to maybe make Wild sun yellow. That would be fun. And then let's change 3 to green. And we have this wildly bright little design, but you get the idea. So now what you could do is, everything's where you'd like it to be. You can regroup it. You don't have to, but you can. And then I'm going to go over here to my layout page setup, and I'm going to turn my grid off. That way I can make my design pretty large for the space I'm working in. And why I'm going to do that, it's going to be pretty apparent pretty quickly. So now I can't save this as a PNG in Silhouette Studio, which would allow it to not have a background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a screenshot. I'm a Mac user, so Command, Shift, and 4 brings up this little, I don't know what you call it, but we're going to carefully get past the design, but I don't want to grab the red edges because it's actually capturing what I'm putting in this gray box, and so I don't want the edge of my screen in it. I want to make sure I'm inside my red cut lines. I'm going to grab that screenshot, and then I'm actually going to navigate over to Photoshop. I know there are other design programs that do this, but this is what I have and this is what works for me. And I'm going to open that screenshot, and what I'm planning to do with it, right now it still has the white box so you can't really see it. I'm going to use my magic eraser tool, and I'm going to get rid of the background. And once you click somewhere on the design, you can see where else you still need to do some work. You want to make sure that you take out the insides so that you can be completely without any white showing in your design. If you need to zoom in to get really tight with some of your design elements, you can do that sometimes. These little guys here. Whoop. So you go up to edit and you want to undo that. There's a quick command for it, but that's easy. So anyway, now you've got it. What you're going to do from here, I always try to get in a good habit of going back up, putting it back on the move too, because it's not very destructive. I'm going to hit File, Export, and Quick Export as a PNG. So I'm going to name it 031. And I'm going to put it back on my desktop or wherever you'd like it to be. It's going to save it in PNG format, which is not going to have the background in it. So now we've done that, we're going to go a step further, Silhouette Studio, and we're going to add that design to a shirt in PicMonkey. So here I have a quick little mock-up shirt that is available in my Etsy shop, the Mock-Up Marketplace. And I have a tutorial on this, so I'm not going to get real in-depth on this, but you go to the butterfly, which is your graphics panel. You're going to add your own from your computer, wherever you have it. Here is my PNG file. You grab that. I'm going to size it down to a size that would actually be realistic for the shirt. I'm going to place it about where I want it to be. Sometimes I have to get rid of the bounding box to make sure. And I'm going to fade it out just a little bit so it looks pretty realistic. You can actually flatten your image or combine your layers that way. You can undo it by going back. Then to save it, what you would do would be to export it, name it, I like to make sure it's as large a file size as I can make it, and then export it to your computer and tell yourself where you would like to store that file and save. And now you have a legitimate mock-up using actual colors that correspond with the vinyl you may be using to create your shirts. I hope that was helpful. My name is Heather. You can reach out to me through the Mock-Up Marketplace on Etsy if you have questions. I'm always willing to help if it's within my ability range. And I hope you have a great day. Thank you.